Why oral exam passing rates peak at noon. The surprising science behind it. Imagine this. You've spent weeks preparing for a pivotal oral exam, only to find out that the time of day you take it could secretly sway your chances of success. Sounds unfair, right? But here's where it gets controversial. New research suggests that timing might actually play a bigger role in academic assessments than anyone previously realized. And this is the part most people miss. Even when factors like difficulty or preparation are accounted for, something as simple as the hour on the clock can shape outcomes. A team of scientists from Italy recently uncovered patterns showing how passing rates for oral exams fluctuate throughout the day. Their findings reveal a fascinating trend. Students are significantly more likely to pass their exams around noon, while performance dips noticeably in the early morning and late afternoon. This isn't just speculation. It's backed by hard data. The researchers analyzed over 104,000 exam results conducted between October 2018 and February 2020 at the University of Messina. After controlling for variables such as exam complexity, they found a clear bell curve in success rates, peaking sharply at midday. We show that academic assessment outcomes vary systematically across the day, explained Professor Carmelo Mario Vicario, director of the Social Cognitive Neuroscience Lab at the University of Messina, and lead author of the study published in Frontiers in Psychology. Students had higher odds of passing during the late morning compared to either the early hours or late afternoon. What makes this discovery so intriguing is its potential application beyond academia. Could similar patterns exist in high-pressure scenarios like job interviews or auditions? That's a question worth exploring further. So why does timing matter so much? One possible explanation lies in our natural biological rhythms. Cognitive performance tends to improve as the morning progresses, but then declines later in the day due to fatigue. For students, dwindling energy levels may impair focus and memory recall, leading to poorer performances. Meanwhile, professors, who often conduct multiple evaluations back-to-back, might experience decision fatigue, causing them to grade more harshly toward the end of the day. Another layer of complexity comes from differences in chronotypes, or individual preferences for activity times based on age. Most university students fall into the night owl category, meaning they're naturally sharper later in the day. In contrast, many professors who tend to skew older are typically morning larks. This mismatch could place students at a disadvantage during early morning exams, when their minds aren't fully awake yet. The implications of these findings are far-reaching. These results underscore how overlooked factors like biological rhythms can subtly but profoundly impact high-stakes evaluations, said co-author Professor Alessio Avnadi from the University of Bologna. He emphasized the need for both individuals and institutions to rethink how assessments are scheduled to ensure fairness. For students, practical strategies could include prioritizing quality sweep, scheduling critical exams during personal peak performance periods, and taking short mental breaks beforehand to recharge. On an institutional level, universities might consider delaying morning sessions or clustering important assessments in the late morning when cognitive abilities are at their strongest. Still, there's much we don't know. While the study controlled for exam difficulty, other unmeasured variables like sleep habits, stress levels, or specific chronotypes could also influence results. As senior author Professor Massimo Mucciari noted, to truly understand the mechanisms driving these effects, future studies will need to incorporate physiological and behavioral measures. Do you think institutions should adjust their schedules based on these findings? Or do you believe external factors still hold greater weight in determining success? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear what you think. The best time for a job interview. Boost your chances of success. Timing can make or break your job interview success, a surprising yet crucial factor often overlooked. You've done your homework, rehearsed your responses, and are ready to ace that interview. But have you pondered the significance of the interview's timing? Recent research suggests that the time of day could significantly influence your performance. In a groundbreaking study, researchers analyzed the timing and outcomes of oral interviews for Italian university students, which are mandatory for passing many courses. The findings revealed that the time of day had a substantial effect on student success rates. This research could shed light on the dynamics of high-pressure situations, such as job interviews, and how timing plays a role. The study utilized a University of Messina database of interview-style exam results from October 2018 to February 2020. The data from over 100,000 exams showed that the pass rate followed a bell curve, peaking between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., with significantly lower rates in the early morning and late afternoon. The research was inspired by a previous study that found judges to be more lenient at the beginning of court sessions or after meal breaks. Carmela Vicario, a neuroscientist at the University of Messina and lead author of the new study, was intrigued by the data on judicial rulings and wondered if the same principle applied to other fields, including education. This was, of course, a completely different field, Vicario tells Fast Company. But we found this similarity. Since the study analyzed existing data rather than controlled trials, Vicario cannot confirm the exact reason why midday seems to be the optimal time for students. However, the researchers have several theories. One theory is that younger people tend to be night owls, while older individuals prefer mornings. The middle of the day might help reconcile these chronotypes, or biological rhythms, that affect alertness throughout the day. Between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., both students and professors might be at their peak performance. This mismatch between chronotypes could also affect the success of young workers during the hiring process when interviewed by more senior employees. According to a recent Resume Builder survey, an estimated 36% of hiring managers had a bias against Gen Z candidates. More than 80 genes regulate circadian rhythms, and consistently operating outside one circadian rhythm can lead to productivity issues, health problems, and work-related anxiety. To overcome bias related to timing, experts recommend strategies such as offering flexible meeting hours and scheduling collaboration during high-energy periods. This approach can be applied to exams, job interviews, and other scenarios. By acknowledging biological differences in how and when people work best and accommodating that diversity, leaders can reduce hidden bias, unlock untapped potential, and build more productive and inclusive teams, says Camilla Kring, a researcher specializing in applied chronology, in a recent Fast Company article. However, the study's authors emphasize the need for further research to determine if mismatched chronotypes are the underlying cause of varying interview success. Even this is a speculative interpretation, Vicario notes, expressing hope that this work will inspire future research to pinpoint why midday interviews tend to be more successful. Vicario also encourages exploring the impact of timing on decision-making in other high-pressure situations. When there's pressure, the influence of the time of day can be stronger compared to when you have ample time to evaluate the situation's details. Vicario says, being aware of timing's impact can make decisions fairer. The optimal time to ace your oral exam, a university study. Imagine this. The timing of your oral exam could be the difference between passing and failing. Surprising, right? But here's where it gets intriguing. Recent research indicates that university students tend to perform better on oral exams when these assessments are scheduled around midday. This phenomenon may stem from the fact that many students are not naturally inclined to be early risers. In a comprehensive study involving over 100,000 oral assessments, Carmela Vicario from the University of Messina in Italy sought to explore this connection. His curiosity was piqued after he encountered a study suggesting that judges' decisions can be influenced by how close they are to mealtime. I wanted to see if this idea held true in the educational context, Vicario explains. Working alongside his colleagues, Vicario meticulously analyzed a public database that contained data on more than 104,500 oral exams taken by approximately 19,000 university students across Italy. These assessments were conducted between October 2018 and February 2020 and spanned 1,243 different courses. The findings were quite revealing. The average pass rate for oral exams was 54% at 8 a.m., which significantly increased to 72% by midday, only to decline again to 51% by 4 p.m. We discovered this fascinating bell-shaped distribution of results, Vicario notes, highlighting the clear trend. This pattern was consistent across various types of oral assessments, including language exams and research presentations. However, Vicario admits that it remains uncertain whether these findings extend to written tests as well. Thomas Lancaster from Imperial College London points out that numerous external factors can influence student performance, the scheduling being a significant one. The time of day and even the intervals between exams can play a crucial role, he states. Understanding why such variations occur is complex. One possible explanation lies in students' chronotypes, the natural tendencies of individuals to feel alert or sleepy at certain times, which determines whether they are early risers or night owls. Research indicates that younger individuals are more likely to identify as night owls, often preferring to sleep in. This preference may clash with the chronotypes of their older examiners, leading to a natural alignment around midday when both parties are more likely to be at their best. At this midday juncture, there seems to be a sweet spot where students can perform optimally, and examiners may be more lenient in their grading. As always, the ideal scenario is finding a balance, Vicario suggests, expressing hope that this research will assist universities in scheduling oral exams more effectively. Lancaster adds, "Personally, I'm eager to use this data to advocate for not scheduling student vivas, those oral assessments where students defend their theses, before 10 a.m. I believe this adjustment would lead to happier lecturers as well." So, what do you think? Should universities reconsider their exam schedules based on these findings? Or do you believe that students should adapt to the existing timelines? Share your thoughts in the comments.